So, last day of 2021, it is Friday morning. Not supposed to be doing a weekly weigh in. I was not supposed to have done one on Wednesday, according to my video 2 weeks ago when I hit my year end goal. But as I said, I was really getting sick of eating the junk and I wanted to pretty much shock myself back into recognizing how quickly all of the work of all of those months can be tossed asunder. So weighed in, I was 257 pounds 10 days after being 233 pounds. So this week, been back on it with my diet. I've still stayed off of the working out. My back feels 100%. I'm not even feeling little twinges anymore. So I'm ready to get back to work. Definitely took some time to relax and reflect. I've thought a lot about my goals for 2022 and I actually plan to record a video. I'm not sure if I'll do it today or tomorrow, but I definitely want to do it before Sunday when I plan to pretty I may start working out tomorrow. There's a 21-day challenge with a YouTuber I follow, Bricks Fitness. I mentioned his name a lot of times, and I may use that to jumpstart myself, especially after not having worked out the last, I guess you could basically say 3 weeks between the COVID scare and then being off for 2 weeks and my back injury. So I may use that to jolt myself. I think he said it's just 21 straight days of exercise. When I recognize the most important thing is my diet, but I have been back on my diet this week. I've gotten very comfortable with eating one meal a day. So since I weighed in, I had one meal on Monday, two on Tuesday, then one on Wednesday, and one on Thursday. I knew what my weight was yesterday. So I mean, I'll talk about it after this, but I'm going to guess that I'm under 245, but let's see where I'm at. And I'll talk about, part of the reason I don't freak out when I see the numbers being what they are, but let's see what the result on the scale was. So weighed myself is 146, but I weighed myself at like 10:30, 10:40. So there's my weight, 243.8. So I came down a little further than I had planned. It says zero. The change is zero because after what happened, I weighed myself twice this morning, back to back. You can see 11 o'clock and 11:01 after Monday when the scale didn't record. I was like, let me make sure. As I said, my scale automatically uploads, so I don't see it. I step on it, sends the electric charge through my body, takes the measurements, and it uploads to the app. So I never see it before you guys do. I always want to have my organic reactions on here, but I'm down 3.3 pounds from yesterday. I was 247. It's the same with both. BMI 27.4. Body fat 28.5%, skeletal muscle mass 91 pounds, bone mass 14 pounds, body water coming back up 52.2%. But all in all, that's where I stand. I'm at 243.8. So I was 247. I've lost 14 pounds since Monday. And I'm currently 10 pounds, 10.4 pounds from where I was at my year-end goal 2 weeks ago today. So again, that's where I currently stand. So this is awkward. I just spoke for about 10 minutes and forgot to start the camera. I'm not gonna repeat everything I just said, but just coming off of the weight, 243.8, so 10.4 pounds, as I just said, from year end. This is why, I stay so calm when I see my weight absolutely skyrocket, because I've been through this a number of times. I've had my weight go up 5, 10, 15 pounds. I've never seen it go up this much. Not even last year at this time or 2 weeks, when I was off for 2 weeks and I just ate whatever I wanted for 2 weeks and I went from 249 to 268. That was 19. 24, it is alarming. It definitely makes me concerned for my health and makes me recognize I should not be doing what I did last week. That being said, I'm not beating myself up too much because it wasn't like I was just doing this for carelessness. And a big part of it was the stress of dealing with the pandemic. I was very upset about not going on a trip. I just got some reminders on my phone today. I was supposed to have been dropping off a rental car. We were supposed to be in Florida this week. I was supposed to take my wife and my baby girl to Disney, and I was looking forward to this trip as a family. I booked it back on March 29th after my wife had been fully vaccinated. I had already had my first shot, and I was so hopeful that by now things would be back to normal. And now we're dealing with, an absolute tidal wave of cases. It's been very stressful for me. I've had work-related stress, but more than anything, over this last 2 weeks, it's just the confinement. Like, I've been in the house. How much YouTube, how much Netflix, how much Disney Plus can one person watch? Like, part of the reason I was eating the way I was is just frustration and stress eating. So I'm not going to beat myself up over that. I've been able to contain it. I've been able to just, snap right back to my diet. On Monday, I had one meal. Tuesday, I had two meals. Wednesday and Thursday, I had one meal with a protein shake and a green supplement for dinner, and that's it. I've gotten very comfortable with eating one meal a day. And I also just know, like, if I were to surgically insert Big Macs into my system every day for 10 days, no matter what I did, there's no way you can gain 24 pounds in 10 days. Like, I literally have to eat 50 burgers a day. Like, I know that 24 pounds was not real weight. I knew a lot of it would come off. I knew more than half of it would come off in the first week, which I just proved out. So it was not false confidence. It was not false bravado. There was no acting. I've seen my weight go up a number of times, 10, 15 pounds after vacation, and it just comes right off. So I know if there's a time dependency to weight gain, had I been eating like this for 2 months and I had not checked my weight and I all of a sudden stepped on the scale and saw 24 pounds, I'd be a lot more concerned at that point, because your body takes time to put on weight. It cannot put on weight that quickly. It just cannot. If you watch the movie Super Size Me, he was gaining like a pound to 2 pounds a day. And that was eating nothing but McDonald's, which, I mean, I probably wasn't far off of doing myself last week. It wasn't all McDonald's, but it was a lot of junk. That being said, I don't know how much of the weight gain is real, how much is fake. I know I can tell you within 15 seconds of ending my video on Monday where I did my accountability weigh-in, I did the math in my head. I said by this Friday, I'm going to bank on me being under 245. By next week, Friday, the first week in January, I'm going to bank on me being right around 240, maybe just a little under it. And that third week, I'm going to bank on me being pretty close, within spitting distance of my year-end goal of 233. Actually, I shouldn't even say after pressing the record, because that's why I said 3 weeks on the video, because I knew how this would go. I've been through this a number of times in the last 2 years. And so I know how my body adjusts to a huge influx of food and then going back to my diet. And I was supremely confident that I could get back to my diet. It's something I used to struggle with. In the past, I was not able to eat burgers and all that sort of stuff without, dipping my toe in the water constantly. And then all of a sudden my results are compromised. I am able to instantly snap back to my diet. That being said, it is not something I need to continue to do, but I'm not going to beat myself up over being very disappointed about, essentially, we've been in the house the last 2 weeks, basically the last 3 weeks, because that last week we had the COVID scare. We were testing ourselves and making sure we weren't spreading it to anyone. But, 3 weeks ago during the weekend, I spent the weekend in the basement because I thought my wife was potentially positive and my daughter was at my mother-in-law's house, and we were all spread out as a family. So it's been very stressful. This wave has been the worst that I've seen in terms of me personally. People I know, I could pretty much pick out any phone in my phone right now, any number in my phone, call somebody and ask them, what do you think about COVID? And they're going to tell me 2 or 3 people that they personally know, potentially that I personally know, that have gotten it in the last month. Like, it's been really, really bad. So, I don't want to harp on and on and on, but it's been very stressful dealing with this. I was very, very upset about canceling our family trip. I've been looking forward to that all year, and I booked it back in March. Like, I'm booking this trip with the confidence that this pandemic is going to be largely over by the end of the year. Like, cases will be rare by then, and that is far from the case. So, definitely a lot of stress factored into the eating that I did last week. But that being said, I was able to right the ship. I was able to get back on it. Um, and I'm, like I said, I'm that path that I plotted out in my head on Monday, I'm hell bent on sticking to. I'm gonna really push to get this, 4.9 pounds off. I want to come in the 230s by next Friday, and then the Friday after that, I'm really gonna make a push to come in under 235. I'd love to come in at 233. It's gonna be a challenge, but we'll see. I just, if I'm 236 2 weeks from now, like, I'm not gonna bat an eye. If I was still 250 2 weeks from now, then I would be concerned. So, um, that's kind of my thinking on the situation. I want to kind of organize my thoughts, and I want to recap 2021, and I want to lay out my goals for 2022. These are videos I don't expect anyone to watch. I've started this channel to document my transformation. And these are important videos. I watched a lot of my old videos this week, particularly ones where I was kind of talking through my thoughts and my feelings on the situation. And so it's important for me to document those. So, I'm going to record probably a couple videos this weekend. Anyone can watch it. My stuff is all public, but this is kind of my time capsule as I journey through this. And the only goal that I'm pretty hell bent on is by March 31st, I want to be done with losing weight. I want to be done with trying to take pounds off. My initial goal was 225, and that was based on a BMI scale that came with the scale I used to use in my original weekly weigh-in videos, the one with the Omicron scale that had the hand and foot calipers. It came with a BMI scale. It said for someone 6'7", the BMI target of 25 and under was 225 pounds. I looked on the CDC site this week. The CDC defines it as 220. It's 5 pounds, whatever, not a big deal. But my goal will be to get under 220, and I really would ideally like my weight to stay between 210 and 220 moving forward permanently. I'd like 230 to be in the future what 320 used to be 4 years ago. I was floating between 290 and 320 for years, pretty much from 2014 through 2019 was the first time I got under 290. Anytime I would get over 310, 315 and started getting towards 320, it was like, all right, I got to get back on it. Let's get back in shape. I want that to be 230. I want my weight to stay between 210 and 220. I want my body fat to be in a range in the teens. And that really is kind of the end state for me. I will not be there with the body fat by March 31st. Let me be clear about that, but I will be there with the weight. So I'm going to really ratchet it up, but I'm going to detail it more in my video that I'm going to record, where I need to spend some time and just kind of write out my goals and a timeline to get there. I don't know that the timeline is all that helpful. But I am anxious to be done with the weight losing part. So I'm comfortable with claiming being under 220 by March 31st. In terms of the body fat, that I haven't necessarily quite mastered, the body fat reduction the way I have the weight reduction. So I probably won't set a timeline for that, or if I do, it'll be something loosely defined that's very makeable and won't get me frustrated if I'm not making it. I don't want to set an unrealistic timeline, but happy with the results, not happy with the weight gain, but I'm not going to beat myself up for having a stress reaction to a very disappointing break. I've been working my ass off all year, particularly back half of the year, a lot of 60, 70-hour weeks, and I was really looking forward to this 2 weeks off, and I was really looking forward to taking my wife and my daughter down to Florida and spending some time just totally unplugged. My whole company is on vacation, so there's no stress to check in an email and can you just dial in on this one meeting? Like there's none of that. And so, this time kind of came and went. We couldn't go anywhere. We did spend a lot of time together, but it's been really hard dealing with the confinement and dealing with this never-ending pandemic. I never conceptualized something like this could happen, but we've been dealing with it for nearly 2 years, and there doesn't appear to be an end in sight. And so I'm not going to beat myself up for being very, very disappointed. But that being said, I'm back on it, and 2022 is going to be a great year for Fareed Fitness. So for now, signing off, and I will check in this weekend.